ClaretsTV speaking to Chelsea manager Robbie Simpson after the defeat at Hampton today. Robbie almost got back into it there, but left ourselves a bit too much to do.
Yeah, unfortunately it's a bit of same old story with us. We started the first 10 minutes reasonably well, in possession. Out of possession, looked vulnerable. I think it was just their second entry into our box before they scored. And we can't keep doing that to ourselves. You know, we can't keep starting well and looking nice. And the first 10 minutes looked exactly how I thought the game would look. They would have possession in front of us. We would be patient, nick it, break. We should have scored before their first goal, at least one actually. We had two, I would say, really good opportunities too. But we look so vulnerable defensively, and it's we had I think one of the things, I went into this game thinking I hope that they get up to match tempo and intensity really, really quickly, because we have had a while now since our last game, and sometimes that can have a detrimental effect. As much as we needed the rest, sometimes just having that match mentality and thought processes can be detrimental. But I didn't feel that. I just felt like, and I could give them that excuse, but without the ball, we've looked like that a lot this season, even when we've been game after game after game. So, and we've had a good week of speaking a lot about the goals we've conceded. You know, we had a good meeting, looking at every goal we've conceded and going through each goal and with a fine-tooth comb about what we need to do and what we need to be and how we need to be better. And that's the biggest disappointment from me today, how easily we've conceded goals once again. So yeah, it was really gut-wrenching for me on the side, having seen the first 10 minutes and thinking, oh, we've started all right, we're in our match, and then conceded so easily. And then following that up, the reaction to going behind wasn't a good one. It wasn't, right, let's regroup, we've conceded, let's be solid and let's build our way back into the game. It was almost like, oh, we have to score quickly. And for that 15-minute period, I think it was 15 minutes between their first goal and their third, we looked a bit gung-ho. And then obviously when they score their third, we have to go a bit gung-ho, and we have to go make it a basketball match and try and back ourselves, or back them not to score again and us to get back in the game. And they made a great fist of it, the lads, they did, and we should have gone into half-time with 2 goals. Why that second goal's chalked off is beyond me. They said it was a foul on the keeper, but none of our players touched their keeper. So he's just misjudged the flight of the ball, and then we've headed it in at the back stick. But we scored straight away after half-time, and we maintained the same, obviously, because we'd made the subs to go that way, so we just thought, let's ride it. And once they got one spell of possession, that was maybe our momentum gone, because we had all the momentum in that back end of the first half, and then going into the second half and scoring, it looked like we were going to score and score again. But they had one bit of possession really where they hurt us, and Woody's made a great save, and that kind of stifled the momentum that we had. And we needed to try and build that back up again, and I thought we did, and I thought we easily could have scored. You know, Charlie's had one cleared off the line, and we had a great chance right at the death that we've hit over, and a few more. Lots of box entries and lots of shots. Just weren't able to force the equaliser. So, I sound like a broken record, but I go into every game feeling we're going to score at least one. And I still feel like we can be cleaner up the top end. I feel like we should be scoring at least 2 every game if we were a bit cleaner in the top end. But we look really vulnerable defensively, and we're working on it. We're in a bad moment in that sense, in terms of that, and we really need to change that. And we're working really hard. We're on the verge of bringing in reinforcements this week, but for whatever reason they didn't happen, and then we lose Gailey, so it's not quite going for us in that aspect. But we all got to stick together now in that sense, in terms of us, and particularly defensively, us all got to stick together and just be better and tougher and harder to score against. Because once we get that right, we know we've got goals in this team, and that's it's not just the defenders. I have to say that it is not just the defenders. I thought our reaction to losing the ball in the top end to help the defenders out was really poor in that 15-minute period today, and that's not the first time I've said that either. Our reaction to something not quite coming off in the final third isn't good enough. Our counter press is not good enough, and that's a mentality thing. It's from the forward players. It is. So it's not just about the defenders. It's about those top players as well, putting in what they need to put in to get us more secure defensively.
Okay. Yeah, it must be frustrating for the management team. It's frustrating for supporters because there's signs that we're potentially a good team, but we're just not showing it over the 90 minutes at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. We've shown, even in this game, we've shown what a great team we can be, but we're just letting ourselves down with lapses of concentration or know-how. It is know-how, knowing of how to act in certain situations, what the game dictates. And it's really frustrating for us as a management team when we see it working so well and we're looking like a really great team, for then it not to be like that consistently and from the start. So that defensive nature when we went 3-0 down, even though we went a bit gung-ho and man for man, it was almost like if we conceded again, the game was done, and under no circumstances should they score again. And Woody played his part with making a great save, but it looked like everyone had that full-on intensity, mentality, desire, all of those words. It looked like everybody had that because they knew if we conceded another, the game was completely done. And we need to have that from the start. That's what's most frustrating. They've shown that they've got that in them, but they need to have that from the start when the game's 0-0. Like conceding, it should be life or death conceding a goal, especially because we know as a team we'll score. We'll know as a team we'll score I think we've only failed to score in 2 games this year. So yeah, we need to get it. I sound like a broken record, but it keeps happening. So I'll keep having to say the same thing, and I know the fans are probably frustrated with it too, just as much as me. But we are working incredibly hard to make the players that we've got be better at it, and also bring in reinforcements that we think will help us.
And there's a chance for a confidence boost midweek. We've got the Essex Senior Cup quarter final and chance to another team in the Isthmian North, I think so. Chance to win that game and move forward in that competition.
Yeah, well, it's a chance to implement what I've just been saying. It's another game that we can practice and get better at where we're failing at the minute. So it's an important game. It really is, because like you said, if we do it correctly, and that is an if, because we don't know at the minute, we can then build on that and take that into league games. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen quickly in some way.
Okay, unlucky today, Simo. We'll move on to that one on Tuesday.
Thank you.